सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ. We have completed chapter 15, Purushottama Praapti Yogam, in the previous class. Today we will do the summary of the chapter 15. This chapter is titled Purushottama Yogam or Purushottama Praapti Yogam. This is a very popular chapter in the entire Bhagavad Gita for several reasons. This is being the shortest chapter in the entire Gita. People would like to by heart this chapter. In fact, many know it by heart. And this particular chapter is used as a chanting chapter before taking food in many ashramas. In our ashrama in Rishikesh and Arsha Vidya Gurukulam in Anaikatti and other places, they chant this before taking the meal. So, this is not only having this Parayana importance, it has got a very in-depth meaning. And this is the essence of the entire Upanishad Vanmayam, entire Upanishadic literature. If you look at this chapter, we can understand this into 5 different topics. The first topic is Samsara Varnanam. This is covered from sloka number 1 up to the first stanza of sloka 3rd. The second topic is Moksha Sadhanani, the different ways of getting moksha. This is covered from sloka number 3rd, 2nd stanza up to 6th sloka. Then the third topic is Brahmanaha Sarvatmakatvam, the all-pervasive nature of Brahma. This is discussed from sloka number 7 up to 15. Then the fourth topic is Brahmanaha Purushottamatvam, dealt from sloka number 16 up to 18. Fifth and the final topic is Brahma Jnana Phalam, covered by the last 2 slokas, 19th and 20th. This is also Upasamharam. So we will try to cover topic by topic. Now the first topic, as I mentioned, is Samsara Varnanam, which is from sloka number 1 up to the first stanza of the 3rd sloka. Paramatma described this entire world with Aswatha Vriksha. There are a lot of comparisons between the world and this tree. Many comparisons are there. He compared Mahatvam, the glory, the greatness of the world, as well as this huge tree. Then Adyantarhitatvam, there is no beginning, there is no end. This is eternal. This attribute is same in world as well as the tree. Anirvachaniyatvam, it cannot be defined. Both world cannot be defined and also the tree cannot be defined. Moolatvam, the starting point or the substratum. Sakavatvam, Sakhatvam. Having so many branches, it spreads all over. So, we have one main thing for all these topics which we have to remember, though Paramatma did not mention, we have to get it from Upanishads. That is the Vruksha Drushtantam, the example of a tree from the Upanishads. Paramatma did not give this example on his own. He borrowed it from Upanishads. That is Kathopanishads. In that, it is mentioned, Urdhvamolo avakshakaha yesho swastas sanatana tadeva sukram tad brahma tadeva amrutamutyate tasmin lokasritaha sarve tadunatyeti kaschana etadvai tat. So, there is another comparison in Mundakopanishad also. Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samanam ruksham parishasvajate tayoranyaha pipalam swadvatti anasnan anyo abhichaka siti. In both these Upanishad, the tree example is given and it is compared with the world, with the samsara. So, if you compare with the world, a tree, all the living beings, they can be compared with the birds which live on the branches of the tree. The branches can be divided into the branches can be divided into three categories. One on the branches above, one below, and one middle. So they can be understood as the jivas in the three different lokas. And not only this, these birds, they eat the fruits of the tree. In the same way, the living beings, they undergo the fruits of the samsara. The fruits of the tree are sometimes sweet, sometimes sour. In the same way, the karma phala, or whatever the fruits you enjoy in the samsara, they are always, having sukha and dukkha. If one phalam gives you happiness, the other will give you unhappiness. So, the samsara will always give you sukham and dukkham. It is not that always you get sukham alone, and you cannot expect that also. So, that is samsara. So, samsara is a combination, is a right mixture of both sukham and dukkham. So, it is like the two sides of the coin. So, you cannot have only one side. If one side is sukham, the other side is dukkham. So, if you want to enjoy happiness in this day-to-day life, then you should be ready to accept the pain and sorrow also. Because every happiness is combined with dukkham, dukkha misritatvam. So, you should be able to accept sorrow with a smile. So, there is one way to get this kind of maturity. One is to get rid of the sorrow. When you want to get rid of the sorrow, you also have to get rid of the happiness. because it is a pair. So, if you want happiness, you have to, undergo the pain and sorrow also, because they are together. They are not a separate entity. So, the main problem is you should have the firmness, you should have that mindset to, accept both. All your problems are not outside. All your problems are in the mind. So, if your mind is very strong, you can accept both, and you can live happily. A person who is living in plains, he would like to go to Himalayas. But once you go there, hardly a week you can spend, and thereafter you feel bored. If you are here in the samsara, you feel like going to Rishikesh. And once you go there, you have the samsara there also. So where is the problem? Is it in Rishikesh or is it in the place where you are living right now? Not in both the places. It is right in your mind. So, the main problem for samsara is the weakness of the mind. The weakness of the mind is that he is not able to accept the pain and misery. So, he doesn't want to leave both, he doesn't want to accept both. And in samsara, this is the thing. If you don't want to continue in Grihastha ashrama, if you want to go to sannyasa ashrama, there also happiness is not there. So, the happiness is not in the ashrama. So, the solution for this is not changing the world, not changing the situation, to understand, to have the maturity that the sukham and dukkham are a mixture, and it always come together. You cannot separate them. They gel with each other. So if you have sukham, there is a dukkham also. You take a very successful person, others will envy looking at his success. He's highly successful, he accomplished so many things, and he was acknowledged, and he was awarded. So many things are there to quote. But then if you ask him personally, he will tell that he has no personal life, that there is no family life. So he is away from the family while achieving all this. So like this, always there is a happiness and the pain. So you should be able to accept things as it is. For that you should have a firm mind. So whatever the ashrama you are in, these sukham and dukkham are must. Whether you live in the society or you live away as a monk, the happiness and unhappiness are always there in any ashrama. So if you want to get rid of this stage, you should make your mind firm. Manayeva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshayoh. So, if a man is bounded, or if he is liberated, if he is enlightened, it is only the mind which makes him so. If the mind is weak, it will throw him into the samsara bondage. If the mind is strong, the mind lifts him from samsara and gives him enlightenment, gives him freedom of the mind, the internal freedom. So this idea Paramatma gave in the first topic, that is sloka number 1 up to the first stanza of the sloka 3. Then the second topic is called Moksha Sadhanani. The slokas are second stanza of the third sloka and up to sixth sloka. So here Paramatma suggested, or Paramatma gave some hints how you can make your mind form. This is called Samsara Nivritti Upayaha, the technique of getting rid of samsara. So as a gruhastha, as a householder, when you have bondage with your family, how you have to face your problems. So this bondage will give both happiness as well as the unhappiness. So a householder always thinks a sannyasi, a monk, is always better than me. But he doesn't know in any ashrama these are must. One has to face both. So it is only one has to make his mind strong. So for this, Paramatma gave 4 different sadhanas. They are Vairagyam, Saranagati, Vedanta Vicharana, Sadgunas. Vairagya means dispassion. So, from tamasic and rajasic karmas, one should come out of those karmas. What are tamasic karmas? He takes up all adharmic karmas, and the things which are not legitimate, the things which are not good, the prohibited actions he will do. And this is called tamasic karmas. So he should not become a slave. He should get the dispassion, and this is the first stage. So second stage, he has to come to rajasic karmas, from one karma to another karma. So again, he should not get too much gelled with rajasic karmas. There also he should get dispassion. So tamasic karmas will bring down from this spirituality. It will be a downfall from this spirituality. Rajasic karmas will not be a downfall, but it will not be a growth. He will stay where you are. So both tamasic karmas and rajasic karmas are not good for spiritual enlightenment. So you should come out of rajasic karmas also. So in the Shastra it is said that if you have to remove the thorn, you have to use another thorn. In the same way, in order to get rid of these tamasic karmas and rajasic karmas, you have to inculcate sattvic karmas. That means you should go to a Gita class, you should do dhanam, you should do all the legitimate things, you should lead a Vaidika Jivanam. All these things are sattvika karmas. So, first you have to get into the sattvic karma. Then, to get this sattvic karma, you have to have satsangas and you have to learn Shastra. There are so many good deeds which are mentioned in our scriptures. Satsangatve nissangatvam. By getting into the fold of a good company, you can get rid of the bad company. This is the first thing, dispassion. The second one is Saranagati, a very important practice in spirituality. So you should have a special inclination, special attitude towards God. So what you have to understand is, when you think that there is no way you can improve the situation, you feel helpless. So you have to think that Bhagavan has specially allocated time for you to take up spirituality. So you have to take up spirituality and slowly transform your attitudes towards spirituality. Though it is not so easy, but it is not impossible also. So, first thing is, we get angry with God. Why should He create such a situation for me? This question is a meaningless question, because God is nowhere responsible. Whatever is happening is all because of me in the past Janma or this Janma itself. So I am solely responsible for my situation. I am solely responsible for my situation. So if you cannot control the situation which you are facing, so what all you have to do is, you have to change your attitude towards the situation. Instead of having master over the situation, you become master over the change in the attitude. You acquire an attitude by which you can face the situation. Whatever you can change in the life, you have to change and refine it. There are certain things which you cannot change. You have to accept with a smile. And then you should know what are all the things you can change and refine, and what are all the things you cannot change. So that type of wisdom you should have. So you should pray God to give you wisdom and to give you a firm mind to accept a thing which you cannot change, and to refine a thing which you can change. So this kind of surrender towards God is called Saranagati. So you acquire manodhairyam, you acquire a strong mind by surrendering yourself unto God. The third sadhana is called Vedanta Vicharana, the analysis of Vedanta. So you have to come into the fold of a Srotriya Brahmanishta Guru, and then study Shastra consistently for a long time. This is called threefold way of studying Shastra: Sravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. So once you expose yourself to Shastra, you get that clear understanding, a clarity of the life. Then your way of transactions will be totally different. There will be a paradigm shift in your life. In your life means in your mental approach, there is a paradigm shift. Then the fourth topic is called Sadgunas. So, in order to acquire the scriptural understanding, one should have that value-based living. So, Paramatma gave this value-based education in chapter 13. He said Amanitvam, Adambitvam and so on. Then here also Paramatma gave certain values. Nirmana moha, jitasanga dosha, vinivritta kamaha, dvandvair vimuktaha, sukha dukkha sanjnaihi, adhyatma nityaha, like this. Nirmana moha. In this there are two values, nirmanam and nirmoha. So if you understand these two values, not having a kind of delusion towards anything. So to be not deluded, this is one value. Then that is nirmanam. Nirmanam means not to have too much of attachment towards anything. This is nirmanam. Nirmoham means to have dispassion or to have a kind of vivekam. You should understand what is good, what is bad. You should be able to analyze that the analytical mind you should have. Then the third one is surrendering unto God, depending on God. Fourth one is not to have a new relationships and to grow beyond dvandvas, pair of opposites. To accept both sukham and dukkham equally. So to get all these values, one should study scriptures. So this word nirmanam is amanitvam, which we have already studied in chapter 13. So if you follow these practices, you can fortify your mind. You can make your mind very strong. With such a strong mind, you can have enlightenment, you can have that inner freedom. And the moksha or enlightenment is to get yourself free from the weakness of the mind. Visrujya sasaram chapam soka samvigna manasaha. The great valor, Arjuna, in a very typical situation, he was totally trapped by delusion. Therefore, these practices are very important. Then Paramatma is giving, if you do these practices, you will get Brahma Praapti. Brahma Praapti means not going near Brahma. It is not a travel. You are already Brahma. That's what Shastra tells you again and again. So, what is that Brahma Praapti? Brahma Praapti means to get rid of the idea, to get rid of that wrong notion that I am away from Brahma, I am different from Brahma. This notion you totally erase. This wrong notion you totally erase. You get a clear idea and you have a clarity that you are Brahma. So that all pervasive Brahma is my own real nature. That's what you understand. Then Paramatma gave the definition of Brahma in a beautiful sloka, which is again borrowed from Kathopanishad and Mundokopanishad. Na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartante taddama paramam mama. Now tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. That's how the mantra starts. The mantra in the Kathopanishad is na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So the meaning given by Krishna Paramatma as Brahma is a pure consciousness. He is not having any attributes. He is all pervasive nature. He is having the nature of all pervasiveness. So, such a Brahma is not illumined by sun, nor moon, nor stars, nor the fire, nor the lightning. In fact, all these brilliant objects are illumined by Brahma. The idea is you cannot make Brahma as an object. You are ever the subject. You are that witnessing consciousness. That witnessing consciousness I am. Brahma Satyam, Jnanam Anantam. So this is the practice of getting moksha. This is a topic which deals with moksha sadhana. Moksha sadhanani topic. So third topic is Brahmanaha Sarvatmakatvam. It is dealt from sloka number 7 up to 15. So, as a part of this explanation, Paramatma expressed that Brahma is pervading everywhere. All pervading Brahma is described here. So there is nothing different from Brahma. There is only one thing which is called Brahma. There is no other entity other than Brahma. If you add a name and form to Brahma, that is nothing but Jagat. So, Bhuta Bhautika Prapanchaha Sarvaha Api Brahmaiva. Brahmana Vyatiriktam Kinchidapi Vastu Anumatramapi Vastunaiva Asit Naiva Asti Naiva Bhavishyati. There is nothing other than Brahma. The entire world is pervaded by Brahma. It is Brahma alone. Visvam Vishnu. That's what Vishnu Sahasranamam pronounces. Even if you take an iota of this world, that is Brahma. So there's nothing other than Brahma before, now and hereafter. There is no padartha, there is no material called ornament. It is only gold with some name and form. There is no material called chair, a wooden chair. It is only the wood with a name and form. There is no material called pot. It is only the clay with name and form. So, with this principle, with this understanding, there is no Jagat, there is no world without Brahma. The entire world is name and form of that Nirguna Parabrahma. When you give name and form, that Sagunatmaka Jagat is nothing but Nirguna Parabrahma. So, the invisible Brahma is visible, is available to us in the form of Jagat. What a great advantage, what a great privilege we have. You try to think what a great privilege it is. Not knowing this, we keep going to places. It's a sad thing. You should be able to visualize God right in front of you. Brahmaiva Jagadrupena Vartate. The entire Jagat is full of Brahma with different names and forms. The definition of Brahma is Sat Chit Anandam. That is the Brahma. Sat means existence, Chit means Chaitanya. Ananda means all pervasive nature, Paripurnatvam. In certain objects, Brahma is available as Sat. In certain objects, he is available as Chit. If Brahma is available only in Sat, Sadrupa, then that object is called Jadam. That is Jagat. In living beings, Brahma is available in both Sadrupam and Chidrupam. For a man, we can feel the existence and also the sentiency. To understand this, Swamiji is giving an example. You have two burners in the stove. On one burner, you keep an iron rod. On another burner, you keep a bowl with water, and then you on both the stoves. When you switch on both the stoves, after some time, this iron rod becomes red hot. Whereas the water in the bowl, you keep a bowl full of water in the other stove. So the water in the bowl doesn't become red hot, but it becomes heated up. So the heat has got, the fire has got two qualities. That is heat and the light. So iron rod takes both heat and the light, whereas water doesn't take light, it only takes the heat. So in the similar way, the Jadavastus can take only the Sat part of the Brahma. The Chetana Vastus will take both Chit and Sat. Brahmaiva Jivarupena Jagadrupena Vartate. Brahma alone is available as Sadrupa and Chidrupa. So Brahma is all pervasive, and with this, Paramatma is concluding this topic. Just as the gold is pervading everywhere in the ornament, in the same way, Brahma is pervading both in the living things and the non-living things. So if you want to see gold, look at the ornaments. If you want to look at the current, look at the fan. Current is not visible directly, but looking at the fan, you understand, yes, current is there when fan is switched on. So the moment you see the world, the moment you interact with the world, you have to understand you are interacting with Brahma. Utkramantam stitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudha nanupasyanti pasyanti jnana chakshushaha. If you are able to talk, if you are able to hear, all that is because of consciousness. If consciousness is not there, you cannot talk nor you can hear. So therefore, if you are able to hear, if you are able to talk, that means you are able to experience God. That Sarvatmaka Brahma you are able to experience. So, Pasyanti Jnana Chakshushaha. A person, a wise person will understand, will able to perceive with his Jnana Netra God everywhere. If you are able to understand, if you understand God, if you understand Brahma properly, that is Jagat. This is the topic. This word we often say, if you understand Brahma properly, that is Jagat. But in our reaction, in your transactions, you don't express that you are interacting with Brahma. So when you are interacting with Brahma, you should have absolute compassion with the people, because it's a rare opportunity. You are directly given an exposure to Brahma. So how you should behave? If God appears before you, how you behave? In the same way, your behavior should be with the world. Because God has given you that rarest opportunity as an Advaitin. So that compassion should flow automatically from your heart. So, Brahma is available as Chetana and Achetana world. Brahmanaha Sarvatmakatvam. The fourth topic is Brahmanaha Purushottamatvam. This is dealt from sloka number 16 up to 18. Brahma is Purushottama, is explained by 3 slokas. So, Paramatma divided this entire world into 3 different Purushas. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha and Uttama Purusha. Kshara Purusha means the manifest world, which is available for you to transaction. So this is called material principle. Akshara Purusha is the unmanifest world. You can call it Shakti or energy. Uttama Purusha is different from the material and also the energy. That is the consciousness principle or the original Chaitanya, the Nirguna Brahma. Nirguna Chaitanyam is not a part, not a product, not a property of the material. So Paramatma called it Uttama Purusha. Uttama means most exalted. It is different from the matter, different from energy, and the matter and energy will not have their own existence. They borrow existence from this very consciousness principle, existence from Uttama Purusha, the consciousness principle or Chaitanya. Kshara and Akshara Purusha, they belong to lower level of reality. They come under reflected consciousness. The original consciousness is Uttama Purusha. If you interchange the word Uttama and Purusha, it becomes Purushottama. So, that Purushottama is myself. Paramatma declared, that is my very Swarupa, that is my reality. So, in chapter 7, he introduced 2 different types of Prakriti, Para-Prakriti and Apara-Prakriti. This Para-Prakriti is nothing but Purushottama. So, Brahma is all-pervading, Brahma is Nirakaram, Brahma is Nirgunam, and that is Purushottama or Uttama Purusha. So, if you understand this, you can really have compassion towards the world. You will not have any kind of Bheda Buddhi. You will not have any kind of difference. I am a Hindu, he is a non-Hindu. I am an Indian, he is a different country. Like that, you don't nourish these differences. I belong to this caste, the others belong to a different caste. I am a male, the others are different. I am a male, so I am superior to all females. All these kinds of differences will not be there. You will have compassion. No differences you will entertain. And therefore, you will really enjoy the balance of life with compassion. And when you look at the world with compassion and amicability, the world also gives compassion to you and accept you with a reverence. So this Purushottama is not a Sakara Purusha, it is a Nirguna Chaitanya. This is the highest form. He mentioned 3 different Purushas, Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha and Uttama Purusha. Kshara Purusha is the manifest world, Akshara Purusha is the unmanifest world, and Uttama Purusha is the lending principle, the lender of Sat and Chit to these 2 Purushas. So, Uttama Purusha is the original consciousness, Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha are the reflected consciousness. They are Midya, whereas Uttama Purusha is Satyam. Then the 5th one is Brahma Jnana Phalam. which is mentioned in two slokas. That is sloka number 19 and 20. So, these two slokas, Paramatma is talking about Brahma Jnana Phalam. So, he said either you are in Grihasthasrama or Sannyasasrama, only thing required is you should have a firm mind. Your mind should be very, very strong. So, this is the ultimate and the goal for every human being. You should try to understand your reality. There are three types of gods which are mentioned in the scriptures: Ekarupa Ishvara, Anekarupa Ishvara, Arupa Ishvara. Ekarupa Ishvara and Anekarupa Ishvara, they are Midya Tattvam, and Arupa Ishvara is the Satya Tattvam. So, you have to start with your Ishtadaivam, which is Ekarupa Ishvara, and then slowly you have to graduate to Anekarupa Ishvara. You have to see your Ishtadaivam everywhere in this world. So, that is the second stage. That is not the ultimate stage. Then you have to grow beyond that and come to the substratum of both Ekarupa Ishvara and Anekarupa Ishvara, the substratum of both Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha, that is Uttama Purusha, Nirguna Parabrahma, Sat Chit Anandam, and that Swarupam is your Swarupam, that is your real nature, that is the culmination. You should not again think that Nirguna Parabrahma is somewhere else. That culmination should be there. That is very important. Unless you culminate it to your own nature, your own reality, the entire study is a futile study. So, I am that Nirguna Parabrahma, I am Uttama Purusha. What a great accomplishment it is. Shastra is telling you, Shastra is awarding you with a Nobel Prize. What else you want? So it says, you are Uttama Purusha. Stay in that Uttama Purusha status. Don't undermine yourself. Don't underestimate yourself. So, a person who realizes this, who stays in this Nishtha, who enjoys that Atmanishta, is called Krutakrutyascha. Hey Bharata, you will become Krutakrutyascha. You will become whole and complete. You will become whole and complete means you will accomplish your life. So, your life is fully accomplished. There is no dearth in your life. There is no inadequacy. There is no lacking in your life. You have accomplished everything. So, with this, Paramatma concluded this chapter titled Purushottama Yogam. So, in the next class, we will take up Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yogam. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.